Welcome back to how to backtest trading strategies in Python. In the last video, I showed you how to build a very simple EMA cross trading strategy using the backtesting.py library. And in this video, we're going to continue and we're going to use the optimization functionality to optimize this strategy to improve it further. So what you can do with optimize is you can set some parameters and you can say, okay, I want you to adjust these parameters such that we maximize our return, right? So there's several parameters that we can optimize. So we could change the period of the EMA. We can include a take profit or a stop loss, and that's something we're going to do as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define at the top here some class variables. So I'm going to say fast period equals 50, slow periods equals 200. I'm going to say take profits equals 10% and stop loss equals 0.05%. Before I do the optimization, I'm just going to plug these into our functions and our strategy itself. So I'm just going to say self.fastPeriods here and then self.slowPeriods. And I'm going to change it from 50 to fast and 200 to slow, just because we're not necessarily using 50 and 200 as the period anymore, especially when we start to optimize. And now when we buy, actually before I do that, let's just make sure I haven't made a mistake here. I think, okay, yeah, that's because I need to change this to EMA fast and that to EMA slow. Should work now. Perfect. What I can do now is define my take profit and stop loss. If I'm buying the index, then obviously we want to take profit. The take profit has to be above the current price. So I'm going to say take profits equals. Now we haven't defined our current price. I'm just going to do that now actually. So our current price is going to be self.data.close, and it's going to be the last value in that series. So I'm just going to index that with -1. So we can say our current price multiplied by 1.1. In fact, we don't need to do, we actually obviously defined our take profit here, so it's not going to be 1.1. It's going to be multiplied by, I'm just going to spread that out. So in brackets, it's going to be our current price and then 1 plus our self.takeprofit. So in this case, it's going to multiply by 1.1, which is going to be 10% above the current price. And then we're going to do our stop loss. So this is going to look somewhat similar. Instead, it's going to be 1 minus our self.stop loss. So if our stop loss is 5%, it's going to multiply by 0.95. And that's 5% below the current price. And this looks similar for short selling. The difference, however, so our take profit is going to be below because we're betting against the market. We're betting that the market's going to go down, or the index is going to go down. So the current price is going to be 1 minus the take profit, and then the stop loss is going to be 1 plus. So basically the inverse of this. Now, just before I do the optimization, I'm just going to run this and we can see what the performance is going to look like. So we see that the return is slightly better, so it's not minus 28% anymore, it's minus 24%, but you know, it's still not very good. So now let's do the optimization. We have defined our backtest here, so I'm just going to get rid of this run. I'm going to insert a couple more cells below, and I'm going to say stats heat map equals bt.optimize. Now the variables that we want to optimize are our fast periods. So we're going to say this can equal, and we're going to define some values that it will put in to see if they are to see if they work to improve the return on investment. So we can say, let's go with 5, 10, 25, 50, 75, 100. And for the slow period, let's go with, let's start at 50. And then let's go up to 150, 200, let's say 500, and let's leave it like that. And then we have our take profits. So let's go with 0 points, let's say 2.5%, 5%, 10%, 20%, 25%. Let's add a 0 point. Let's add a 1% as well. And then for the stop loss, let's do something similar. So let's go. In fact, we'll leave this the same, and we're going to apply some constraints. So we're going to basically say that with our constraints, the take profit has to be greater than the stop loss, because obviously we want our reward to be greater than our risk. Let's say we're going to say lambda p dot tp must be greater than p dot sl. So I've just made a few changes. So I've just added this max tries parameter because it's taking quite some time, and we don't need that the heat map there. We're just going to return the stats. So I'm just going to run this again quickly. So we're setting the max tries to 10, and let's have a look at the stats once this is finished running. So we can see that after optimizing our variables, our EMA periods, and our take profit and stop loss, we actually have a return of 23%. So it's a lot better than what it was before of minus 28% and minus 24%, but it's still not as good as the buy and hold return. So again, there's still more that could be done on this strategy to improve it further. Now let's have a look to see what the strategy was, what parameters actually gave the best return. So let's have a look at our stats, then strategy. So this is a 5 periods EMA, and a slow period EMA, sorry, fast period EMA of 5 and a slow period EMA of 50, a take profit of 20% and a stop loss of 10%. Now we could set the max tries to 20 and we can see if that improves at all. Now I'm not going to spend loads of time optimizing this because I just wanted to show you how it works. And like I said before, you can do whatever you want with this. You can add more technical indicators, you could try more parameters. It's really up to you. Like I said before, I'll put the code in GitHub, and I'll put the link to that in the description, so you can see all the code and get all the data to see whether you could improve on this or optimize it as you see fit. So the return's actually gone down. So yeah, it is random. So you can actually set a random seed, I believe. So if I set that, or it's random state. Okay, so we can see the return has actually gotten better. So it's 27%. So we didn't change anything. We just set a random state. So you shouldn't really change the random state, but definitely set one, because if you run it again and don't have one set, then the results are going to be different. So yeah, 27%. It's not as good as the buy and hold return, but it's definitely a lot better than it was before. That's everything for this video. Like I said before, all of the code will be on GitHub, and I'll put the links to that in the description. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content.